Hey, wake up.
I can't tell if I'm lost in the fabric of time and space. Maybe I've fallen into an endless dream. My mind is hazy. Fragmented light and shadows of a different time, a different place flicker past me. They're just out of reach. The images before my eyes quickly shift. One moment there is the glittering Lincoln Tower, then strange creatures. At long last, everything dissolves. Only a single closed door remains. I keep falling. The lights around me start to flicker. Dazed, I feel as if I'm plummeting into the very depths of deep space.
Those S class predators are waiting for you to interrogate them.
A faint voice pulls me back to reality. Where am I? My temples throb. It hurts. The harsh fluorescent light about me is blinding. I'm forced to squint as I'm trying to make sense of my surroundings. The grey ceiling, piles of files atop desks. My ID card, people wearing special uniforms. I'm in the LCBI's building. Everything comes into focus.
You're awake. You look like you had a good dream.
Sort of. I dreamed about Lincoln City without Praedators. Upon hearing my words, my bewildered colleagues exchange looks. It's as if I told them an outlandish tale. The place I live in, Lincoln City, is a metropolis of sin and debauchery. Several years ago, an unprecedented nuclear and radiation accident swept through the city. Many inhabitants underwent a significant mutation. These highly aggressive individuals, prone to entering in a frenzied state, were called Praedators. When a Praedator attacks an ordinary person, their victim either dies from severe injuries or transforms into Praedators themselves. They lurk among general populace and rarely reveal themselves, yet they continue to send the city into a spiral of chaos and madness. 5 years ago, the Lincoln City Bureau of Investigation, or LCBI, was established because of increasing pressure from the public and leaders of various groups. As an enforcer in Operation Sector I, my work involves apprehending these Praedators and bringing them to justice. Can you give me a status report?
It's related to the new frenzy enhancer again.
It can make Praedators go into a frenzy almost instantly. They would also display a higher tendency for violent behavior. If this drug becomes available to the public, the consequences will be catastrophic.
Here are the personal files of all predators involved in this case. Let me give you a heads up. Ever might be involved. Be careful.
Don't worry, I know. The related files lie on my desk, and my eyes quickly lock onto a startlingly familiar name. Why is he involved? After careful consideration, I grab that particular file. I enter the interrogation room. The Praedator Sylus has his back facing me, yet I can sense the overflowing dangerous aura he emanates. I approach Sylus and lean against the interrogation table in front of him. We meet again, Sylus, given our circumstances. However, maybe I should call you Tartarus instead.
You keep bringing me to the LCBI for small talk. Do you think I have nothing better to do?
Chains bind Sylus's hands. to the chair's armrest, and the collar around his neck further restricts his movement. Even so, he restrained. He could easily break free at any moment and rip my throat out if he wanted to. Fortunately, I'm the person holding the chain attached to his collar, and I'm holding it tightly. Since you are an SSS class Praedator, whose worked as an assassin for years, we would like you to cooperate with our investigation.
I see the LCBI's intel is outdated. Allow me to give you a quick update on my circumstances. I'm a law-abiding citizen now.
Sylus and I first met in a Praedator outbreak, when my life was hanging by a thread. Ironically, it was this assassin who saved me. He took me under his wing afterward. He taught me how to shoot, and more importantly, he taught me how to survive in this city. We lived on the edge and depended on each other for survival. However, you accepted a commission and then vanished without a trace. You mooched off me for years, but you didn't even share your bank account details before you left.
So, you've decided to mix personal grudges with your work?
He is not wrong. I have had this grudge for a long time, especially after he abandoned me. From a professional and personal standpoint, we are enemies. During the past 5 years, the assassin Sylus vanished. Meanwhile, Tartarus the Praedator reappeared in the public eye. And closely tied to that, Night Streaks is a criminal organization. It has rapidly risen to power in Lincoln. Authority reaches far and deep into the city. However, Sylus's restrained and low-profile approach that left no evidence behind has consistently allowed him to evade incarceration. With dirt on numerous celebrities and high-ranking officials, Sylus is often brought in a show of force, only to be politely escorted out shortly after. Recalling this, I can't help but be on high alert. Anyway, let's keep this pretense of familiarity. I toss a stack of crime reports onto the table in front of him. Recently, there was an incident in the Southern District where a Praedator attacked someone. Our informant says it was your handiwork. Exposing yourself in such trivial incident isn't your style. I yank the collar around his neck, and Sylus's body lurches forward. He furrows his brow and glares at me for my aggression. I smile, disable the nearby surveillance camera, and lower my voice. Of course, those charges were just an excuse to bring you in. Sylus, I need your help with something. Recently, a potent frenzy enhancer has appeared on the black market. Our intel suggests its source is an abandoned resource facility on Lincoln outskirts. In the past, it was used to imprison Praedators and conduct experiments on them. Infiltrating that place will be risky, which is where you come in.
This isn't exactly how you ask people for help.
Really? I guess I have to use the method you taught me then. I unfasten the collar around Sylus' neck and trace the red marks that slowly appear on his skin. As you can see, I actually know nothing about the facility. That's why I need your help. So, will you help me or not? Sylus grasps my fingertips. His intense gaze that falls on me befits a Praedator.
My little bird has grown up, it seems. Your wings are getting stronger with each passing day.
You should have known this would happen when you took me under your wing, all these years ago. After reluctantly making a deal, Sylus and I infiltrate the abandoned research facility. The building has been deserted for years, evidenced by the fallen chunks of plaster and bricks littering the floor. Several pages decorated with formulas remain intact. Its previous occupants must have left in a hurry. After I photograph the documents, I approach a storage rack with piles of discarded boxes. This one has a label F.
Ever.
You seem to be familiar with this facility. Don't tell me you are somehow involved.
Let's just say they're an old friend of mine.
So you've done business with them before. Unlike the petty schemes of ordinary Praedators, Sylus has a grander plans and even greater ambitions. What exactly is your relationship with Ever, anyway? For a long time I have suspected they sent those men in black who always lurk around our house.
That's only part of the story. Ever tried to kill me before. It's only natural I return their kindness with a few gifts to express my gratitude.
Gifts?
I just so happened to blow up the first research facility ever used to study predators.
No wonder they're willing to chase you to the end of the earth.
When you were still my contact, one of their high-ranking executives went missing. You might be on their hit list, too.
As we reach a turn in the staircase, a barely noticeable object catches my attention. Concealed by the weathered wall is a door. It's almost impossible to spot unless someone has keen observation skills. Light slants in from a small window above and illuminates this dormant space. Various test tubes and instruments lie scattered on the lab benches. I look around and spot an abandoned computer in the corner. Despite its heavily worn appearance, I press a button on a keyboard. To my surprise, the screen flickers to life.
Unit DL-039 on standby. Unit DL-039 is ready. Please enter the password.
After we left the abandoned research facility, I decided to drive to Sylus's place in the Northern District. After all, there is no safer place in the world than Sylus's home. It's late. Sylus is lounging on the sofa while holding an old, yellowed detective novel. An hour passes and he is still reading. Sylus, are you expanding your literary knowledge or studying counter-detection techniques? He looks up at me and places the book face down on his knee. His voice is devoid of emotion.
I'm cultivating drowsiness. This is the bedtime story I picked out for you after using a careful selection process. But you don't like to read, so I'm reading it myself.
It's more like a compilation of nightmare fuel than a bedtime story. Shortly after Sylus took me in, I could not immediately get used to a life where enemies might show up at our doorstep at any moment. On those nights, when he had leave for a mission, I was left alone at home. It's always difficult to fall asleep. Before one of his departures, I asked him to buy me some books on his way back. Surprisingly, he agreed. Yet, How to Dispose of Your Enemy's Body, Murder on the Occident Express, The Silence of Gods. Who reads this before bed?
Me.
Without looking up, he turns another page. The pleasant rustle of paper fills the air. Leaving my eccentric partner to his unique tastes, I turn my attention back to our recent findings. A research facility, partially damaged equipment, a working computer, and notebooks filled with countless strange codes. I pin all these clues photos I have taken inside the facility onto the walls of Sylus's home. After I am done, I hand him a double-sided tape.
Are all enforcers this bossy? Taking over people's houses, and even making their hands do all the work.
I take the double-sided tape back and place a half-empty water glass in his palm.
Is desk duty over? Do you need me to be your dining table now?
Ignoring his complaints, I grab the book from his hand and use a marker to point at one of the photos. Hey, Sylus, do you remember the prison cell we found? During our last investigation, Sylus and I stumbled upon a hidden floor. We were short on time that day, so we couldn't thoroughly search the area. Look, there's an odd symbol here. Sylus glances at the area I circled on the photo.
That's the logo of a biopharmaceutical company under Ever. They filed for dissolution 5 years ago. Since then, it has reappeared with a new face. Now it's a company that's primarily focused on health services. Their products might be connected to the frenzy enhancer you're investigating.
Several days later, Sylus and I returned to the abandoned research facility. Wary of other predators lurking inside, we use our usual plan. Sylus will go in first to scout the area. But why has he been gone for so long and still doesn't return? Sylus. There is only silence, and sense of foreboding creeps over me. Finally, my worry overwhelms my weariness. Tightly holding my firearm, I carefully walk into the unknown darkness. The corridor is enshrouded in darkness. Only a few emergency lights flicker, and they can barely pierce the gloom. I continue to scan every corner for potential threats. Iron bars covered in rust line the corridor. Past the cell's doors, I see muzzles and empty syringes strewn across the floor. As I venture deeper into the facility, an unsettling yet oddly familiar odor grows stronger. This scent, where did I smell it before? Right, it is the same scent from the Freezing Hunter we confiscated recently. As I turn the corner, a noise abruptly breaks the silence and I raise my gun. I am ready to shoot on sight. The shadowy figure easily dodges the bullet. As I prepare to shoot again, the individual launches at me. I am pinned against the wall. My finger is about to press the trigger, but then I recognize a familiar face in the dim lighting. Sylus?
Didn't I tell you not to come in until you received my signal?
Sylus, what happened to you? I try to move, but he locks me in a place. With his knee, I can't move. He must have accidentally inhaled an aerosol version of the Freezing Hunter. But how did it even get here in the first place? A sharp pain derails my train of thought. He has bitten my ear. His teeth pierce my skin, and a searing pain throbs at the wound. Yet the sensation is quickly replaced by the feeling of his hot tongue on my ear. I can't let this continue. I struggle to create some distance between us, as while I reach for the syringe in my pocket. I brush his hair aside and forcefully inject the suppressant into his neck.
You really don't pull your punches, huh?
If this doesn't work, I will have to use my gun. Seconds pass. His agitation seems to subside, and the wild look on his face disappears. How are you feeling? Better?
You should shoot me next time this happens.
You haven't exactly gone easy on yourself either.
Any frenzied predator can easily tear your throat out.
Don't worry. If things actually spiral out of control, I won't hesitate to pull the trigger. I slowly exhale and meet his gaze. The same can be said about you.
It seems your competency has improved during my absence.
Save your compliments for later. Oh, and one more thing. I silently pull my gun away. Then I turn and swiftly punch his chest with full force. Who said you could go around biting people? I touch my sore airlock and take a few steps. I hear a soft thud behind me. Sylus? When Sylus doesn't follow me like I expected, I realize something is wrong. I turn around. He has collapsed on the ground. I rush over to check his breathing. Thankfully, it's steady. He isn't pale, so I don't think he is in immediate danger. Is this a side effect of frenzied hunter? Maybe the suppressant's dosage wasn't strong enough. I pick up the syringe from the ground and see the production date on the plastic tube, only then to understand why he collapsed. I had bought the suppressant from the black market for a low price. However, its expiration date was last month. I'm sorry, I gave you an expired suppressant. We sent the computer we found to the LCBI's research department. After they successfully recovered its database, everything played out as we had hoped. We obtained an important document related to Ever's experiments. It proves that Ever once imprisoned Praedator there, in an attempt to create invincible biological weapons. The frenzied hunter that currently circulates in the black market is an improved version of the one created during past experiments. After backing up the data, we prepare to drive to Sylus's home, so we can store it. As the car door unlocks, I sit in the driver's seat while Sylus gives me a skeptical look. I think I should drive, just to be safe.
Are you implying it's dangerous when I'm at the wheel?
Sylus has made quite few enemies because of his job. That's why he usually takes me along once he finishes a commission and changes the addresses, being yanked to bed around midnight, only to be put into the back seat of his car is one of my most vivid memories. And the reasons he gave for these sudden moves were always unbelievable.
Wake up. Someone's here to kill me.
Fight them off yourself.
A lot of people showed up this time. Moving is easier than cleaning up the mess. Our new place is on 47th Street. It's discreet, and the school district is decent. It's about time you got a real education, miss. Wake up. Someone's here to kill you.
But I'm an innocent. Goody two-shoes. Why would anyone want me dead?
They're after me. It's only natural they'd be after you, too. You have 10 minutes to pack your things and go downstairs.
We moved more times than I can count. Contact information and burner phones were swapped out like clockwork. Sometimes I wondered if his nocturnal lifestyle was a consequence of constantly dodging his enemies. The LCBI is currently in the process of selecting its best employees. I'd rather not give anyone a reason to question my performance. After I made up an excuse, I put an address into the navigation system and ease into the accelerator. I remind Sylus about putting on his seatbelt.
All right, then. Start the car, rookie.
The sunlight streaming through the car window seems to bother him. He slightly winces before reaching for the sunglasses on the center console. He slips them on. After driving for a while, several intimidating SUVs suddenly appear in the rearview mirror. I make a turn, they follow, and if I press the gas pedals, they speed up as well. Sylus, do you think those cars have been following us this whole time? Accustomed to these sorts of scenarios, Sylus calmly taps on the car window.
It's fine. Keep driving.
Bullets whiz past the side mirror as the distance between us and our pursuer shrinks. The roar of the engines grows to a deafening crescendo. The three cars are in hot pursuit. They even attempted to ram us multiple times. They are right behind us. Are they crazy? Oh, please tell me you have a plan. Sylus points to something in the distance. Our car, followed by three pursuers, veers onto a wide road. Only one road work ahead. Sign seat in the middle of it.
You're a big girl now. I don't need to teach you how you can bend the rules, right?
I should have known it was impossible to be a good person when you're around. Then again, we're already here. It will be a shame not to make the most of this opportunity. I step on the gas and leave nothing but a long trail of exhaust for our pursuers. I told you to fasten your seatbelt. The gunfire intensifies. I glance at the rearview mirror as Sylus impatiently retrieves a long box from under the seat. He opens it and assembles the gun. Then he gives it a once-over before loading a few rounds. What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious? I'm about to spice things up.
The car window is slightly lowered. The gun barrel is soon aimed at the people chasing us.
Floor it.
The bullet grazes the tire with great precision. One of the car careers off the road with an ear-splitting screech. In the blink of an eye, another bullet penetrates the tire on the opposite side. Our pursuers have become prey in his crosshairs. Whether they veer left or right depends on where Sylus aims his gun. I'm going to make a sharp turn. Hold on tight. I turn the steering wheel as far as I can, and my action is accompanied by several precise gunshots. In the rearview mirror, I see the three cars collide in a shower of sparks. With a deafening roar, our pursuers vanish in a sea of flames. That was close.
It was smooth sailing. However,
Sylus beckons me to come closer with a curl of his finger. When I lean toward him, he gently tugs away the strands of my hair that got tangled in the sunglasses' arms.
watch out for the cliff.
Outside, heavy clouds cover the sky, as if they are waiting to unleash a downpour powerful enough to drench the entire city. Over the past few days, Sylus and I have complied our intel at the HQ of Night Shrieks. At his signal, everything will be ready to pour down like a deluge that cleanses the city's corruption and sin. Deep in thought, I'm jolted back to reality as a colleague unceremoniously drops a traffic ticket on my desk.
Hey, there was a speeding violation on the highway a few days ago. Here's the ticket.
Should not this be handled by the police and not the LCBI?
It's because the suspect is connected to a Praedator. The one you're supervising is the LCBI's VIP at this point.
The ticket clearly shows Sylus's face. As for the person next to him, a pair of sunglasses obscures their face. I will ask him. Before I can even leave the LCBI's building, commotion engulfs the office.
Everyone outside is talking about predators being connected to Ever. How did that happen?
I heard about it. Apparently, Ever is using them for some kind of experiment.
What kind? That sounds scary. Based on what I heard through the grapevine, Ever is supposedly the group who created the predators in Lincoln.
Sylus's door is ajar. I wonder if he was expecting me. Inside the room, he is standing with his back to the door. Engrossed in some kind of task, he hasn't noticed me yet. I sneak up behind him and make a finger gun and touch his lower back. Put your hands up, Sylus. This place is crawling with enforcers. You can't escape. With a stoic expression, Sylus peels the ticket off his face. His gaze falls on the blurry photo, and he studies it for a while.
I never imagined our photo would end up on an official document like this.
How else did you expect them to end up together? Ignoring my question, he sets down the half-loaded gun and walks towards the living room. Curious, I follow him. He pins a traffic ticket to the investigation board on the wall. Our comical traffic camera picture is surrounded by a grisly collage of crime scene photos. They act as the world's most unconventional picture frame.
We have to get a clearer shot next time.
What do you mean by next time? Sylus offers me a slight smile, with no explanation. Baffled, I plop onto the sofa again. The TV is broadcasting the news report that's been a hot topic these past few days. Of course, it involves Sylus and me. Rumors about Ever, the frenzy enhancer, and Praedators have spread to every corner of the city. However, Ever seems to have anticipated this. They prepared a well-written statement to ease public speculation. And last night, a sudden fire consumed the abandoned research facility. The traces of past experiments and lingering evidence of their wrongdoing, everything vanished in the flames. They say a storm is brewing. Don't tell me you're the one pulling the strings.
You're a meteorologist now?
Besides, the more chaos there is, the more someone benefits. Lately, Night Shrieks has become synonymous with omnipotence. They are a conduit for all sorts of business deals done legally and illegally. The man before me is less a dangerous predator and more like a chess master who controls the direction of the game. But I haven't been able to figure out whether he intends to save Lincoln or destroy it. What if I find myself on an opposing side? Will you shoot me?
I'm pretty sure I taught you not to waste time on pointless hypotheticals. Am I mistaken? Besides, you should be well aware of your options.
Like what?
You can leave, or you can stand by my side.
With mixed emotions, I clench my fist as if I'm holding a microphone. I bring it to his mouth. Here is $1 million question for you, Mr. Sylus. Let's say you wanted to destroy Lincoln. How long would that take?
$10.
10 months? 10 weeks? Or 10 days?
9, 8, 7.
No, stop!